Hello boys and girls, and welcome to music. Today we're going to talk about the violin. Now let's talk about the parts of the violin first. These are the strings of the violin. Now it's kind of obvious that those are strings, right? Let's talk about some parts that are not so obvious. This is the body of the violin. Just like you have a body and I have a body, she has a body. Now this is the neck of the violin. Just like you have a neck and I have a neck, she's got a neck. What else do we have in common with the violin? Let's look. Down here on the bottom, she's got a button. Just like you have a belly button, I have a belly button, she's got a belly button. It's kind of interesting how much we've got in common. Now, let's talk about some things we don't have in common, or that are as obvious on the violin. These four black things are called tuning pegs. We use those while we're tuning the violin to make sure that it sounds perfect. Up here at the top, this little roll piece right here is called a scroll. Just like a rolled up piece of paper from back when the knights and the princess were alive. They had rolled up piece of papers with the announcements in it. They called those scrolls. They had scrolls and she's got a scroll, but we don't have a scroll, and that's okay. Now, this long black board right here is called the fingerboard. It makes sense to call it the fingerboard because that's where your fingers go when you play the violin. Now, this wooden piece right here is called the bridge. And you'll notice that the bridge is supporting the strings, so the strings are not touching the fingerboard. That's so your strings can make music. So the bridge is pretty important. Just like a bridge would support your car, this bridge is supporting the strings. Let's keep going. These holes, you can barely see that little line, but they're called F-holes. The F-holes are where the noise comes out of for the violin, and they're really kind of cool looking. Let's keep going. This piece right here is called the tail. Just like a puppy or a kitten has a tail, the violin has a tail. Now, is a violin a high instrument or a low instrument? Let's see. First, we got to tighten up our bow, like so, like that. Now, let's see if it's a high or a low instrument. If you guessed high, you're absolutely correct. It's definitely a high instrument.